The ghost of Gacy. In the quiet town of Des Plaines, Illinois, a dark presence lingers. It is the ghost of John Wayne Gacy, the serial killer who murdered 33 young men and boys in the 1970s. Gacy's house, where he buried many of his victims, was demolished long ago, but his spirit is said to still roam the land. Residents have reported seeing Gacy's ghost lurking in the shadows, his eyes glowing red with malice. One night, a group of teenagers decided to explore the ruins of Gacy's house. They had heard the stories about his ghost, but they didn't believe them. They thought it would be fun to spend the night in the haunted house. The teenagers arrived at the ruins late at night. The air was cold and still, and the only sound was the wind whistling through the trees. The teenagers entered the ruins and began to explore. They found a hole in the ground and decided to investigate. They climbed down into the hole and found themselves in a dark, cramped space. It was the crawl space where Gacy had buried many of his victims. The teenagers suddenly felt a chill run down their spines. They heard a noise behind them. They turned around and saw a figure standing in the darkness. It was Gacy. Gacy's eyes glowed red, and his face was twisted into a malevolent grin. He raised his hand and pointed at the teenagers. "Get out," he roared in a voice that was like the sound of death. The teenagers screamed and ran for their lives. They climbed out of the hole and fled the ruins of Gacy's house. They never looked back. The teenager's story is just one of many tales about Gacy's ghost. His spirit is said to haunt the town of Des Plaines, a reminder of the evil that once walked among them.